I don't know why the YouTube video still says waiting for us. Should be good. We're all good. Good to go.
Good to go.
Yeah. So we finally figured out a way to get ourselves live on Riverside as well as on YouTube at the same time. Let me just go ahead and put the link onto what is this, Twitter and everywhere else, and then we should be rolling from there. Shanzo, just take it away with letting everybody know what exactly is currently going on with the indexes. What's exactly happening with the Nasdaq, the Dow, all of that.
Oh, dude, the Nasdaq is fucking flying. I think all-time highs, right? I mean, sorry
Yeah,
for
333
abusing.
was the high as of yesterday, from what I know.
22,353 for now. With the
Yeah.
0.45% up. Which is, according to chart, dude, the charts look beautiful for Nasdaq. Some stocks got hammered, obviously. But if we see our big boys like Reddit and our firm, they done well. Even the, what do you call? Um, Nvidia has done beautifully well.
Nvidia hit a new high, right? It's an all-time high.
Yeah.
That's the main part of the title as well. It says Nvidia breaks into all-time high. And remember the time when we were actually telling everybody that Nvidia going to an all-time high will result in eventually the Nasdaq going into an all-time high as well.
I think
That was
that's what
exactly
people are
what we were
betting
saying
now,
last
right?
time when we were on our live as well. Sorry?
I think people are going to withdraw money from other stocks and euro it into Nvidia,
Yeah.
expecting to hit
Yep.
a $10 trillion market cap.
Yeah, I think it would hit. I mean, it's going to be hitting 4 eventually, but I think it will be the first stock to go towards 5 trillion as well. I don't see it as not being the first one to go there. Looks quite likely to me, at least. I believe so, that it could be heading there. I don't see any reason why it should not. But yeah, that's that. Yesterday, did you know that yesterday the S&P 500 had its smallest loss ever in history? It was a
Jesus.
0.0003%. It was so flat. And that's actually a good sign usually when you see it closer to, like when you end up seeing it closer to all-time highs when prices are at their peak or somewhere around. That's actually a better sign. Usually you get to see more amount of market movements coming from there. Let me just go ahead and put up the link on Twitter as well, so everyone can join in from there as well.
I think a lot of
If
tech stocks
everyone
are
can
up,
hear
no?
us clearly as well as, sorry, what are you saying, Sean?
No, I was just saying a lot of tech stocks are up.
Yeah, this is the big tech rally, man. This is the big tech rally. What are we? 22,354 on the Nasdaq, so 105 points up. We are also heading towards. So the volatility index actually literally shat in its pants. It's down to like 16.65. So that's like a dead meat altogether. It's like just lying there doing absolutely nothing. If you actually look at it, it's pretty dead. That's the volatility index. Let's go over a few things, Sean. I need to also let people know about what's happening with our. Okay, I think our audio and video, everything's great, bro. We can hear each other, we can see everything clearly, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Let's go into try seeing how. So we have the jobless claims and the GDP number coming out, right? So that should be coming out anytime now. I think in about 10 minutes, sorry. In about 9 minutes, we should be seeing that. Again, remember, I've been saying this since quite a while. The jobless data is really, really important. The unemployment claims on a weekly basis. We don't want that spiking. For the sake of heavens, that needs to control itself. Because if that does not control itself, we can actually have a Fed cutting cycle a lot faster than people expect. Not because the economy is strong, but because the economy is more weaker than anyone anticipated. And I don't think the economy is currently adjusting to that. Okay, one of the things that I forgot was to put it up on Instagram as well. So let me just go ahead and do that. Sean, why don't you give the guys a brief on what's exactly happening with Tesla and all the other stocks?
Tesla's, I mean, it was down 3.5% yesterday closing, but it's just up 0.11% pre-market, which is not that much. But if you look at Disney is up marginally 0.2%, 0.2%. Uh, Netflix is up 0.50%, 0.50%. But it's all margin, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's to some extent, yes, it is around playing around those levels. So it's nothing
Except for
too
big boy
intense at this
Nvidia
moment.
nuts. I think
Yeah, Nvidia is up again today, right? That's one thing that I was expecting, anyways, for Nvidia. It's actually been a pretty good day for Nvidia.
yeah, but Applied Materials also doing pretty well.
What are we having? Yeah, I mean, it's the AI trade, right? So as the AI trade continues to do better and better, you're going to be seeing this eventually play out for a lot more other stocks as well. So it's not something that we're going to be pretty much looking at it here in terms of trying to see if this is going to be really a scenario that can get us pretty badly screwed at least.
I
So
mean Nvidia,
I
I mean
mean,
Nike looks
all
juicy.
you look at Nvidia, right, 1.6% higher. So you're technically looking at it from all standpoints, wherein it does look like what we have been saying since day one, that Nvidia will take the market to all-time highs, and eventually we are going to push ourselves to levels higher. Yesterday, you were not along with me in the live, but I was explaining to everybody that how all-time highs are not a ceiling; they're just the start of a bullish cycle that can keep going longer than most people expected, because there's so much pent-up demand that keeps coming in. And we've been saying that since quite a while now, as in it's just a repetitive thing that's been going on and on at this moment. Let's go over a few stocks. Let's see if there's anything crazy happening in any of them. AMD is up another 3%. Dude, you have to check out AMD, man. It's just like it's at an absolute next level
Jesus
system.
Christ.
It just keeps going. It's
Oh wow.
like,
And they only worth
I mean, I
200,
would never have
22
expected
billion.
this, but yeah, but look at it, man. I mean, it's been up like what? 5%, 5.67%, 1.12%, 3.5%. Yesterday was flat. Today it's up another 2.93%. It's just phenomenally higher. It just keeps going. Anyways,
Wow.
it's still
Holy
58%
shit.
away from an all-time high. So you have to give it up to Nvidia for that much, because at the end of the day, Nvidia is still leading the pack and at an all-time high. Also look at
Wow.
like
From
Broadcom, right? AVGO, AVGO.
from March to July, it's a 90% move. Phenomenal.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah. Look at this one as well. Look at Broadcom as well. Absolutely crazy. It's just unbelievable the way AVGO, the ticker for everybody that wants to figure out what it is. But
Oh my god.
all-time highs from 140 dollars all the way to 267. 280 would be a double, right, on the stock. So it's, I mean, a lot of these stocks are just like literally flying. I mean, I saw Uber the other day up 7% while Tesla was down post the robotaxi event, because Uber's up another 0.5% today, but Uber's been doing pretty well, all because of the concept that Tesla is not going to be able to scale pretty easily. Also, Uber is internationally present. It's going to be very tough for robotaxis to be present all throughout everywhere. So that's the reason why Uber has been doing pretty well. Possibly it
Like we're
could
saying,
continue. So, did you just call AMD advanced money destroyer? Really? I mean, look at the amount of money that's being made on this. It's just crazy. Unbelievable stuff going on. Anyways, everyone that's not joined us, welcome to Signal and Sentiment. Never joined us before, I mean. We do this pre-market call about an hour some days when we have news. Like today, we have the jobless claims and GDP data coming out. So we started this a bit early. Otherwise, we started about 8:45, 45 minutes before the market opens, and we're there till about a half an hour into market. I usually go ahead and do a post market as well. So you guys can tune in for that, join in for that as well. Make sure you subscribe so you get a notification. Also, for everyone that's new here, go ahead and check out a new video. I put out a video about how real estate is versus stocks, and which one's better, which one's worse, what's the pros and cons of each. So make sure you guys go and check that out, because I do believe people have a slight gist on that. People do have preconceived notions when they start believing that okay, stocks is better or real estate's better. Remember, a lot of it is because of the sunk cost fallacy. A lot of people, when they make money through stocks for the first time, those guys never think that real estate's good. The guys who make money through real estate, they don't believe stocks are good. The greatest of investors also have had real estate and stock portfolios. Keep Warren Buffett aside, he is a different beast. Anyone trying to emulate him or be like him and reach that kind of stature, please don't try. It's not worth it. Be yourself. Don't try aiming to be Buffett. It's not worth it. On the other flip side, you can always go ahead and look at people like even Charlie Munger, who was Buffett's right hand man. He had a plethora of, I mean, it's just unbelievable amount of real estate that he was holding on. So I think over 2,000 apartments or 1,500 apartments. So that was just like unreal stuff going on there, in all seriousness. So go watch that video. I should be putting up that. Let me actually do that. Let me actually go ahead and get the link for you guys so I can actually put that out. Uh, we just had that pretty much coming out right now. So for everyone that wants to go and watch a video on real estate versus stocks, please go ahead and find it. You should be finding it in the comments. Also, be nice and go ahead and vote for us so that we get to know what everybody is currently been looking at. The question for today is this just the beginning for Nvidia and the market? We already have a few votes in, and everyone's already saying that yes, all-time highs or the launchpad. People are not even agreeing to the fact that maybe it depends on earnings. So everyone's pretty bulled up, man. That kind of makes me scary, but I like the fact when everyone's bulled up. That's one good thing. How long do we have? We have a minute left for jobless data to come out, right? So let's go ahead. Let's find out what the numbers are, what we're expecting, and then let's go ahead and let you guys know what happens exactly with the GDP data and the unemployment claims. I'm hoping it's spicy news. The last time we had this, it was pretty much a dull news because we were expecting 247K. It came at 245. Okay, what are we expecting for GDP? We're expecting a negative 0.2% print for final GDP, and we're expecting 244K for unemployment claims. So at the moment, you should be looking at these kind of situations where the market will be pretty happy if we're able to just get the numbers that we're expecting, somewhere around 244K for unemployment claims and negative 0.2 for final GDP. Right. It's about pretty much any time now that we should start getting in these details. We're also going to be getting an FOMC member Goolsby speaking. So that will be fascinating to figure what happens in there as well. I'm just waiting to get the data that comes out. Okay, so the
8:30.
final GDP came in a lot worse. It was expected to be at negative 0.2. It's come in at negative 0.5. Core durable order goods month on month have been better at zero point 0.5 versus zero
Wow.
point 0.1 expected. So that's decent. Great
Unemployment
news.
claims is
Unemployment
good.
claims came in at 236K versus an expected 246K. So that is worth talking about because that's the one that everyone's been scared about. Let me just go ahead and put it into the chat so anyone joining in pretty much knows what's going on. Yep, there you go. So unemployment claims, the greatest news of today. You are seeing that hit 236. Sean, did you go and check out the durable good orders? The forecast was for a positive 8.6%.
It's
Looks like we came
16.4
in at
now.
positive
Wow.
16.4%. That's like crazy stuff, man. Literally doubled the forecast, and we were coming from a previous negative 6.3.
Wow.
So, anyway, I mean, great numbers, right? Let's see what the market's doing. Did you have a chance to
Do you
check what's
think
happening with the
this
market?
is because of Trump's tariffs?
I mean, there could be some amount of front loading, but you don't really see that front loading happen all the time. So I wouldn't write that off as being just Trump. There's been a few things that I have seen. You and I were also watching the interview today, right? Of we were, no, NR says we got 2 quarters of negative GDP. No, we didn't get 2 quarters. We got only 1 quarter of negative GDP. This one's the previous quarter. The next quarter still got time to come out. So this one's still a negative quarter of the previous month. We were expecting a negative number, but I don't believe the market's going to worry too much about it because it's looking ahead at the number ahead that's coming out. So if you do go down to the Atlanta Fed and check there about, let me see what the current GDP reading on the Atlanta Fed portal is. It's positive 3.4. So we're not going to be getting 2 quarters of negative GDP growth. So America is not in a recession. Time for everyone to chill out. We're going to be getting a positive 3.4 as of now. That is, I mean, we still have time for the month to end. So the numbers will get changed on the 27th. I think we get PCE coming out as well, right? PCE comes out tomorrow, so we will be live for that as well. That's at 8:30 p.m. tomorrow. So for us PM, for you guys AM. So the markets haven't moved that much, which is a good sign. At the moment, please remember, even neutral news is good news. We just don't want the economy to start suffering. So it's looking good for now. Don't see in any issue currently, right? NR is also saying that we got 2 quarters of negative GDP. So, and he's been saying that markets pricing in cuts. Uh, let's see. I'm not sure if they're going to price in too many cuts just because of Powell being there. Did you see what happened with Trump yesterday? He came out and turned around the whole thing and started saying that, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm choosing from a list of 3 to 4 people for the next Fed chair, and I'm going to select him in this summer itself. Like in a few weeks, they'll come out and let us know who the next chair is going to be for the Fed. So I don't know. I mean, that's just weird stuff that's happening. I was expecting
Ponzi.
this obviously because it's Trump. So I don't know. Let me get this news out. US May goods export falls 5.2%, largest drop since 2020. US Q1 GDP falls annualized negative 0.5. It was estimated at negative 0.2. So, but the most important part in all of this, please do remember, US jobless claims came out at 236K in June 2021, June 21st week, estimate of 245. But here's fascinating stuff as well, Sean. Continuing claims, right? This is something that I was worried about. Maybe not at this moment, but it is looking weak. Continuing claims have inched up at 1.974 million in the June 14th week. Estimates were at 1.95. So 1.97 in people continuing to basically say that, hey, listen, you know what? Not making that much money. I'm unemployed. Please help me out. So yeah, let's see. DoorDash is partnering with Flytrex to launch drone delivery in Dallas, Fort Worth. Hot meals by air to 30,000 homes.
But my
Damn,
question is, why is
fascinating.
TTD down? It's down pre-market, is down yesterday.
TTD trade desk is down because Wells Fargo came in and downgraded, right? We all know your love for analysts, so one of them came in and downgraded, saying that there is a lot of competition that the trade desk is going to be facing from Amazon, and that's basically caused the price to go lower. While at the same time, they've also been saying that it's their demand is not looking that great. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a
keep in
scam.
mind, JP Morgan came out exactly a few days back and said the opposite, completely the opposite. They basically said that everything looks great. So take all of these guys' advice with a pinch of salt. To a certain extent, I'll give it up to TTD because it was having weak. It was looking weak any which ways. It has had a fall all the way from 80 down to 69. It's been trading out there, but then it's held up there. So let's see if it's able to continue holding up there. I'm not really certain if it's going to be able to hold, right? 67 as of now. It needs to hold the 65, 66 levels. Otherwise, it will go back all the way down to 60. That could also be something that is going to be quite risky. Okay, that's the news of TTD. What else do we have going on? Damn, people still believe that we're going to be just going all the way into new all-time highs and without a fall. That's nice. When I see that. Let's see. Eli Lilly has come out and said that India's drug regulator has approved the launch of its weight loss Manjaro pre-filled injector pens in the country. So I guess that's a huge market that Eli Lilly will now tap into. You want to go check what Eli Lilly is currently trading at? I mean, it is a big market. India is going to be paying top dollar to lose weight. It's also the diabetes capital of the world, right? So Eli Lilly is at 796, up about 0.5%. So looking great on that front. Don't see a problem at this moment with anything related to Eli Lilly. Yeah, I know the amount of people in India that would be using the weight loss pills if they can get a chance, right? Especially the injections. They'd be
So it's
priced pretty
oral
high.
and the injections.
No, it's just the injection. It's the pen, the injection pen, or whatever the hell they call it. Injector pens. Pre-filled
You
injector
think they,
pens is what they call it.
you think they, if they manufactured in India, do you think they'll bring down the
Oh,
overall
they're not
cost?
manufacturing it. Nah, they're not going to manufacture it in
Ah,
India. It's like gold right now, right? If you can start manufacturing it in local areas, then it starts reducing in price. At this moment, that's going to affect your margins. So you might as well just go
ah.
ahead and build it somewhere and tell people how tough it is to build and all of that stuff, so you can charge a lot more. And it's literally like a, what do you say? It's like a contemporary for the truth serum, right? So you can just lose weight with it. I mean, we know a few people that have tried it and they've literally lost a lot of weight. They've lost a lot of appetite also. So that's eventually led to that weight loss that's
Yeah,
been
because
happening.
that's what it does, right? It kind of kills your appetite. So you invariably lose a lot of weight because you're not consuming that many calories. It's fun thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, to each his own. It depends on what exactly somebody wants. I don't know. Have they come out with any kind of side effects for it though? I don't know about that.
I think there are
No, no. I
some
mean,
side
I'm
effects, but
guessing the fact that you can. Do you have a tendency to like put on weight quicker if you've lost it through injector pens? That could be something,
mm,
right?
my
He says
God,
Bollywood
the
celebs are
market
using.
is
What happened to the market? It's like right there.
yeah, it's
It's
right
yeah,
there. Yeah,
75
it's right
points up. So that's okay. This part of the game. Okay, let me just go ahead and see a few more things that I had in terms of news. We got a few things to talk about as well. Uh, this I have to show on the stream, right? He says people get the loosies as a side effect. Fair enough. That is one way of saying it. Okay. What do we have? Yeah, just think of
uncontrollable bowel symptoms.
maybe that's how you lose weight. Yeah, it's not irritable anymore. It's uncontrollable. Okay, Senator Warren says that this is Elizabeth Warren. She says Trump is standing in the way of interest rates coming down. That is just bloody hilarious. Trump's like reduced it by 200 basis points, and now Warren's basically coming out and saying, "Hey, you're the one. It's because of you that I'm not able to reduce it." Oh
I
lord,
think Warren is just salty that she couldn't win the presidential race.
doesn't she have like $50 million of her own money?
Yeah, she has. She I think she's one of the few
I mean, isn't she
senators
like
that
bloody loaded?
yeah, she's like one of the few senators that is not that didn't want to pass the bill that could put a limit to senators trading inside information.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just the world of capitalism, and I support all of these senators basically making money through insider information. Right? They might scream at Steve Cohen for everything he did at SAC Capital, but these guys at least come out and let us know that, hey, listen, this is what we're buying. And accordingly, these are the laws that will get passed. And these are the stocks that will go up. So they're just front running for us, whatever they're going to be doing. Anyways, did you know that Goldman Sachs bought an office overlooking the River Thames in London for 140 million? I'm like, dude,
My God. in the UK.
Wait,
Government is
it's been
flexing.
put back on the market for 140 million pounds, less than the 175 million it was bought for. Okay, so they're down 35 million on it. Anyways, not important. Okay, so that the stuff that's been happening in with Trump and Powell is kind of scary, but it's not bad because him at least coming out and saying that the next guy is going to be there in the next 6 to 9 months, or like whatever 11 months of Trump of Powell's term that remains. It is going to give us a shadow Fed chair. I think it's going to be the first time in history we ever have a shadow Fed chair, like someone who basically says that okay, we're going to start having an FOMC meeting that has no value because everyone stops caring about it. Because as soon as this new guy comes in, he's just going to be like, okay, here you go, 25 basis points every meeting from now, or 50 basis points every meeting from now. And he's just going to telegraph it today to us and let us know that this is going to happen. So
But
I heard Trump also saying at some point of time that he wanted to be Fed chair if he could. So
but isn't that
maybe,
against
maybe he can. Who knows?
the whole thing of having a Federal Reserve?
I mean, you can still have the Federal Reserve. You can just have Trump, the president, as Trump, the Fed chair as well. Who knows? Yeah, it's not possible, but I'm just saying. Like, who the hell knows? In today's day and age, anything can be possible. I wouldn't write it off.
But
Let's see. What else is going to be going on? What's the market at? Stream 75 up? Yeah, 80 up, 82, 83 up. Cool. Did you see Chime though? Chime has been picking up. It was up about 8.93% yesterday. It's up about 2.6. Chime's an IPO. So for everyone that's new here, Chime's the only IPO that I think that's gone through in 2025. They were expected to open at 27. They pretty much got oversubscribed, went all the way to 44. 44 dropped all the way to 28. And that's the only one that's not recovered, not had a bull market within the IPOs. Go look at Circle, go look at uh, what was the other one? Hinge Health, that changed up also. Look at CoreWeave, all of them went up. Just keep CoreWeave aside because of their Nvidia connections. But other than that, Chime was the only one that's not done well. My bet was on the fact that I wouldn't expect it to go down below 27 because at 27 you had Goldman and JP Morgan coming in with their underwriting prices, right? So they would stick to 27 as a number that they would want. I wouldn't be one to guess as to what would happen there. But let's see. Maybe it goes back to 45, 50, maybe even 100. Who knows? Right? In a bull market, especially IPOs can be up 3, 4x within a few months. Right? Look at something like Circle, man. I just saw it today in the morning. I mean, I was looking at it before as well, but look at it. All the way to from 64, got listed at 64, Sean. Went all the way to $300 a share in a bloody month. On the 5th of June, it listed at 64, 66, sorry. No, I was right, 64, yeah. And 64 went to 298 in 20 days. Actually, 18 days. So that's about 12 trading days or 14 trading days. You're looking at like a 300% move.
there are
So
people
I'm
getting the
not
money
saying
to
Chime's going to
buy
do it,
too.
but oh, it's called leverage, bro. Leverage. It's called margin money.
Oh God.
That's where they're all getting it from. Iran Supreme Leader says his country delivered a heavy slap to the United States. What? Dude, what are these guys smoking, man? Did he just come out and say he delivered a heavy slap to the United States? Where? What just happened? What part of this did I miss? Okay, anyways, I'm guessing we want to keep quiet about that. Let's see. Trump considers naming next Fed chair early in bid to undermine Powell. Or did you see what happened to the NATO chief? The NATO chief, Mark, whatever his name is, Nute or whatever the hell it is. Did you know that he went and called Trump daddy? He literally called Trump daddy because Trump was basically telling him that, hey, listen, Iran and Israel, they have their issues. They've been fighting for a long time and things don't look that great. And at some point of time, someone had to go in and say something. So Mark was like, The NATO chief was like, "Daddy has to come in and stop the way," and I'm like, "Bro." And then they asked Trump later on, saying, they asked you, saying, Mark basically wanted to call you daddy, basically like a daddy to all the other NATO countries. And Trump just kept going with it, saying, "Yeah, he thinks I'm a daddy. I'm a daddy." And Marco Rubio, right? Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State behind, just couldn't stop laughing about it. He just kept going, saying, "Trump's a daddy." It's just like ridiculous. You know the amount of memes that are gonna come out about Trump being a daddy. Anyways, I guess that is that. Let's go over. Let's see what else is happening. So we got personal consumption, we got GDP, we got GDP price index, we got all of that. Mm. Iran supreme leader in his first speech comes out and says the US hit nuclear sites but could not achieve much. Dude, these guys are like next level. Iran supreme leader says US President Trump needed to do showmanship. Anyways, did you see what's happened to the US dollar? Have you seen the DXY? Nobody's been talking about it, but the dollar index is falling way below 100, below 97. Looks likely to be
Oh
breaking.
my.
It broke 97 in the past 4 hours, and now it's back up to 97.2, but it is very, very weak. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. I was talking about it today in the live in the morning as well. It's never a good thing when the currency depreciates so badly so soon. Go look at the euro dollar, right? There, EUR USD for everyone that wants to know. It's at a pretty much a very big high. So it is tough. Anyways, we got breaking news from
Wow.
Federal
Fantastic.
Reserve President Tuesday. He says claims data is, what does he say? Wait, what? Yeah, he's saying more tariff inflation could be coming. So who knows? Maybe that tariff inflation comes and screws it all up. But as of now, we've not been able to see it. Let's see. Khomeini says US gained no achievement from this war. Yeah, so you were asking me about the trade desk, right? So Wells Fargo downgraded trade desk from overweight to equal weight, cutting the price target to $68 from 74, citing rising competition from Amazon starting in 2026. So
They were
they're talking
wow.
about competition that's going to come in 2026. While 2025 estimates still look doable, projections for 2026 and 2027 have been revised low. Okay, that's okay. It's cool. Part of the game. That's fine. This is news. This is fun. So, with all of that stuff that happened between Elon and Trump, right? Where he said, okay, you're in the Epstein files and, we're not going to give him all the contracts. So apparently, I think Bezos capitalized on it. So Bezos has basically spoken to President Trump at least twice this month. He looks to score more government contracts for Blue Origin. CEO Dave Limp also visited the White House to meet Trump's chief of staff. So that's that. Dude, I have to read this. Iran's Khomeini says he congratulates all of the Iranian people on victory over the United States. Okay, bro. That's it from Iran, bro. I'm just so done with it. I'm tired of listening to it anymore. So this was a trade deal that was supposed to go through, which was the India-US trade deal. Those trade talks have hit roadblocks ahead of key tariff deadline. The two sides are reportedly at odds over a proposed tax on auto components. Do you want to know how that story goes through? Basically, going to be Trump involved with Musk in some situation of these auto components and all of that, and it's going to be okay. Everything's going to get solved. You got Nike earnings coming today, so for everyone that's interested in Nike earnings, uh, it is going to be fun. Yeah, there you go. NR says he wants whatever they're smoking. It seems like high quality stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Can't wait for the
Just,
Nike Skims collaboration to push the stock price up.
I think it got delayed by a quarter. It got delayed by a quarter. But other than that, it's fine. I think actually Nike might pick up. They have some Air Max stuff. They're also teaming up with Levi's. for a few things. So that's going to come through as well. Most likely that should be something. Anyways, S&P futures 500 futures just hit a new all-time high 6170. It's up about 27.7% since the 7th April lows of 4832. Uh, Let me go ahead and see. The dollar index falls below 97 for the first time since March 2022. And let's see what else. What else is happening? There's been some bullshit that's been going on between OpenAI and Microsoft in something that's been happening. I think Microsoft wants some form of, they want better terms in their deals for the for profit and the not for profit. So that's currently been going on.
I mean,
Eventually,
OpenAI has
that's
been a
purely
little
my
slimy.
speculation. Is that no? That's, you know, why they're doing that. They're doing that purely because of the fact that OpenAI basically is trying to say that, hey, listen, you need a lower stake in the
But
company that I'm going to go and do an IPO out.
yeah,
So in that case, what's going to happen is that you're basically looking forward to something wherein OpenAI shifts its company from a for-profit, not for-profit, reduce the for-profit percentage on Microsoft, and then eventually end up with a higher percentage for OpenAI in itself when it IPOs, because they can only IPO the for-profit, right? No NGO is going to
yeah,
eventually get IPO. So at the moment, that's the thing. So you remember the shit that was going on with Meta? They got a deal with the Scale AI guy. They bought him out. They got him to work. They shifted
yeah,
scope and tried buying the previous OpenAI CEO
yeah.
or whatever the CTO was, some dude called Ilya or whatever. They wanted to buy him out and something else, and they were not successful. So apparently, right now, Zuck has pulled three top researchers: Lucas Bayer, Alexander Polishnikov, and Zhao Wao Zai or whatever the hell this guy's name is, from OpenAI to boost, yeah, whatever his name is, bro. It's Xiaohua, right? Let me know if you can pronounce it. Anyways, so Mr. Zai from OpenAI, right? Let me call him that. So they basically picked up three OpenAI researchers for their superhuman intelligence push. So he's been pretty gung ho about this AI thing. If you logically think about it, it's going to be a pretty strong concept if you end up getting a lot of these guys coming in for working for Zuck eventually.
Yes.
You know, one of the fascinating things, I was watching Philip Lafont, right, on his interview. He did come out and clearly say in the interview that what happened is he was looking for this concept where he did say that because of the use of AI, Zuck has been able to increase the advertisement, the potential of the advertisement that you were getting for your platform. So if you were getting something like, let's say you were getting something more related to you, is what you're basically seeing right now in OpenAI. Sorry, in Meta. Now, when you're seeing that in Meta, you're also able to see the fact that they're making a higher revenue per click, and that is purely to do with the AI story that's going on. So it is going to be pretty strong, man. I would not bet against Zuck in the AI story. That's my story. What do you think, Sean?
I think Zuck is building. I think Zuck will kill it, bang it out of the park because he's been always ahead of the curve. Like I think I like how
Hmm.
he. If you remember, there was that big metaverse thing where he spent hundreds of billions of
Oh yeah.
dollars. It went fucking nowhere.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. True.
but then he wrapped it up. He admitted whatever it was, and then he look where Meta is right now. So I think he really knows. I in my opinion,
Yeah.
I
The stock
think
went up what,
Meta.
7 times?
Yeah, I think he will make a new AI thing with Meta where you can use it with Instagram, so it's naturally into the app. So you don't have to go to OpenAI or whatever. So I think I think if you give him maybe a year or two, I think he'll come to some crazy shit because he's just poaching OpenAI clients left, right, and center. And I like how Sam Altman came out and said, "Oh, top management people didn't leave, but he could be lying for because he's
Oh yeah,
it's a
Creed was
very
just left.
slimy move,
Zhao Zai, whatever his name is, he just left,
so you can say, "Oh,
which is
top
bounce, bro.
management people are not leaving yet." But I'm very confident if when Meta throws money and gives and they not only give you money, forget the fact of giving you money. They tell you, okay, you can head this team, you can do whatever you want. It's all hands off. I think who will say no, right? I mean, rather than being under financial constraints of OpenAI and Microsoft, where every now and then you're fighting with your founders on certain things. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because if you look at it, right, look at the Chinese AI just overtaking. They can lie about it all being less than $10 million or whatever it is, but they're still beating Meta. They're still beating not Meta. OpenAI is beating Google out of
yeah,
the park with their AI
yeah. I mean,
generation.
Google does have the best LLM out there, but that's if you have stopped believing into whatever Alibaba and everybody else is saying. I still do believe in
Yeah,
this concept that what's going to happen is two things. We're going to have the way we have the tech industry today, where the Googles of the
yeah,
world, Apples of the world, maybe not Apple, but Google, Netflix, all of them, they have their own US business and rest of the world business ex China. And then you have China has its own Netflix, China has its own WeChat, China
yeah,
has its own Google, its own Meta, or whatever the hell they have for themselves. It's just going to be that way. So their AI systems are going to work in their little town that they have, which is a really big town, and all of us are going to be using the stuff that America creates or Europe creates or whomsoever creates, which is not Chinese, just because no one trusts the fact that these guys are not really snooping at us. So
yeah.
I just believe that's what's going to happen. Anyways, at about 15 minutes post market close, we should be getting Nike's earnings that come out. So that would be fun to see what's happening there. They have a large presence in China as well. So the new guy that's coming in, Elliot Hill, he was an intern back in the 1980s in Nike. He was heading Air Jordan. He's done 1,000 things at Nike all the way up to I think 2016, 2017. Stepped down then. John Donahoe had come through. He was the CEO. They flipped all of their business models. So you see a lot of these Nike shoes were not available in retail stores. You had to go onto the website to actually get it. So you had to go to
Yeah.
Nike.com, and then you had to bid for it or whatever the hell was going on with all those drops.
Will
Elliot Hill
it be a
basically decided to
defining
stop all
moment
this nonsense.
for him?
I actually do believe. See, remember when someone comes in from the scratch levels and comes in to become the CEO, he knows the business in and out. He knows how employees think in and out. So the fact that he's come around and eventually succeeded John Donahoe and now is shifting, let's say, Nike at least from a degrowth part to a path which is some form of growth, even if it's just flat, there will be a lot of value that gets created in that. So do I think that that's possible with
Hmm.
Nike? I actually do believe it's possible with Nike. It's not impossible. A few things let me tell you with Nike, right? They've started selling directly on Amazon. So Amazon's building
Yeah,
inventory.
yeah,
That means there's going to be higher sales. So maybe they have a sales beat. Who knows? I'm not sure, but they might have a guide that is better than what people expect. Two, they've raised prices by about 5 to 10% on a few products. Usually, a company that is seeing lackluster sales cannot really go out and increase prices. The fact that they've been able to do that purely means that they're seeing some form of improvement somewhere. Otherwise, they're not going to be increasing prices by 5 to 10%, right? Think of it this way: if you had your own lemonade stand and you were selling lemonade and nobody was buying from you, you're not going to increase prices, because then
yeah,
for sure people are going to there's going to be less people that come in and buy from you. If there were few people coming in, now there's going to be nobody coming in. So what I do believe is that they might have a good earnings report, or at least maybe not a great earnings report, but a better guide and a better overall outlook. That seems possible. If that's the case, the stock will rally because it's been beaten down. Like if you go down and see Nike currently trading at $60, it used to
hmm,
trade at 179. It's pretty much left for dead. That's exactly how it is left. There is like nothing left in Nike at this moment. It's an $89 billion company. 20.44 price to earnings and gives you a 2.63% yield.
Have they
So
already started selling on Amazon, or they yet to sell?
it's going to be through this quarter. And also, what's going to be happening is that Amazon's going to be stocking up inventory. So, that shit takes
Uh,
time, right? Till the time the shoe's
yeah,
made in Vietnam or China, all the way
yeah,
to getting into Amazon's warehouses and being put up for inventory.
yeah,
But Amazon wouldn't be buying inventory unless and until it was pretty sure of the fact that Nike shoes would sell on Amazon.com.
yeah.
So, because Amazon knows what you want to buy even you before you know what you want to buy, right? So that, according to me, is something that is likely looks pretty good. Did you see what happened this morning with Trump and Netanyahu? Trump wrote like this 2,000-page essay for Netanyahu talking about why the corruption proceedings against Netanyahu should be cancelled. It's like this massive Truth Social post saying, "I'm shocked to hear that the state of Israel, which had one of its greatest moments in history, strongly led by Netanyahu, has a case against him." He basically is coming out and saying, Bibi Netanyahu's trial should be cancelled immediately or a pardon given to a great hero. Shady, man. It's pretty shady.
I think it's you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what it is, but looks pretty messed
What
up if that's the one
is
happening. I wouldn't have expected that, but these days you can expect anything and get anything from the administration. I will give you that much. Okay, what are we at? 22,315. So that's about 66 points higher on the
Oh,
Nasdaq.
it's a case of bribery and fraud. Wow,
Yeah, which politician doesn't have that?
this is a witch hunt.
Yeah, they keep saying all that. Okay. Treasury Secretary Besant extends measures to avoid debt ceiling breach. Okay, cool.
And now it says Zuck is about to pull another Snapchat with OpenAI. But I think imitation is the best form of flattery, right? So I think he'll copy it and then make it better. I mean, because there's a whole ecosystem in Instagram itself. I mean, the amount of people that make a lot of money just through Instagram, it's become a marketing tool, right? That itself is going to, if he uses AI, I think I think it'll go crazy. I mean, you're voluntarily putting up your
Yeah, and they're saying
pictures
that.
on Instagram. It'll turn out
Yeah,
to be
they're saying that
fabulous.
they're able to see one of these. They're able to see one of these few things as well. They're able to see the fact as to how the ads that they're currently showcasing to
Yeah.
everybody on Instagram is currently targeted, as well as it's able to be put out in a way wherein they're making a larger revenue per click on the ad. So they're already getting benefits out of AI. So they're just going to continue spending a lot more. That I'm pretty sure about. Nvidia CEO Jensen says today that robotics and AI are the two biggest opportunities for the company. We have many growth opportunities across our company with AI and robotics, the two largest, representing a multi-trillion dollar growth opportunity. Let me go see what's happening with all of those quantum stocks. You had Rigetti, that was a quantum computing. It should be higher. It's a, yeah, 1.44 higher, so that's nothing. It's a very high beta stock, so should be up a lot more, but okay, that's fine. What are we? How long for the market to open? 25 minutes. Okay, not bad. We're still holding on to the gains, right? I mean, we're still pretty much right there, 22,318.5319. So 320, 72 points higher, pretty much right there where before the market got in data for the jobless claims and the unemployment claims. We've just gotten back to those levels again. So we're not really that far away from going in and making a new high. We were supposed to be opening into all-time high territory, but Not yet. We're still lower now. We came down about 40 points. Yesterday's high was at 22,327. So we're 7 points away. If we can go 7 points higher and open there, we have a new high today. So yesterday would have been the first day that we made an all-time high, and today's the second day where we make an all-time high.
Mhm.
I have an hour-long all-time high discussion that we had on live the other day, edited and being going to be put out in a few hours. So go ahead and watch that as well. So everyone that's like new here, go ahead, subscribe. You'll get a notification whenever we go live, and you should be seeing a few videos that have come out. If you scroll up in the comments, you should also be seeing a YouTube video which is about real estate versus
Mhm.
stocks, and that's currently going to be showcasing on your screen. Okay. So you were talking about DeepSeek, right? DeepSeek's
Yeah.
progress has been stalled by US export controls, apparently. So, you know, when Trump
I
put
mean,
in those Nvidia chip bags,
they're still able to get chips illegally through Taiwan. So I don't think,
yeah, but I don't think they can get as much as they could have got legally, right? So
yeah,
their
yeah.
progress
They're
has
spending
stalled,
a lot
apparently.
more.
Yeah, to an extent. There's apparently going to be a large, major press conference at the Pentagon today. So that'll be fun to watch about this Iran thing. I don't really think it'll have any effect on uh, investments for us, but it'll be good to know and put an end to the story as to what's going on, considering one side is saying
Yeah.
something else and the other side is saying something else. Okay, we got some tariff news that's going on. Trump is pushing for rollback of EU climate regulations in trade talks. Big oil executives, including Exxon's Darren Woods, asked Trump for help. Big oil says EU climate regulations are too onerous. That's from the Wall Street Journal. We truly do live in unusual times, man. The type of headlines I'm seeing daily are almost unimaginable for me to see a few years ago. Do you imagine what it would have been like if we saw a headline that said Trump considers naming next Fed chair early in bid to undermine the current Fed chair? Markets would have fallen like crazy for that, man. NATO allies agreeing to a higher 5% defense spending. They were not even ready to agree a few weeks back or a few months back to that 2% number. They're agreeing to a 5% number. I don't know. It's just funny at some point of time. Mm, okay, we got a third one. Do you remember when I told you that we had two Federal Reserve governors? One of them was Michelle Bowman, who's a Republican, and the other one was Christopher Waller. Both of them have been advocating for a July rate cut. We got the San Francisco Fed President, Mary Daly, who currently says that the fall in the numbers that you're seeing looks promising for a rate cut. So, I don't know. I mean, there's three people now talking about a rate cut. So, the stuff that I've been saying about uh, rate cuts pretty much might be coming through with the FOMC. Maybe three of them at least. At least there'll be some form of dissent. If not a rate cut, at least some form of a dissent that could come through. I actually do believe that that is something that can happen. Maybe a July rate cut is on the cards. It would actually be pretty good for the markets if we get that, considering that we haven't had bad data yet. When we enter July, the first thing we're going to be getting is NFP, which is non-farm payroll unemployment rates. If that number comes through pretty good, I think we should be open for a July rate cut as well. So that's there. Anyway, some more news from Federal Reserve President Austin Goolsbee. He's the Chicago Fed president. He says an early announcement by Trump of Powell's replacement will have no impact on the Federal Open Market Committee. So basically, they're saying that listen, you can do what you want. We'll continue doing what we want. So new data confirms U.S. labor market is solid. Policy is well positioned for where the economy might go, and optimistic about recent inflation readings. But Fed needs to be sure, particularly given coming deadlines like July 9th on tariffs. Let's see. So let's check. Do you remember what happened with that Hims and Hers stock when Novo Nordics basically made them eat shit?
It plummeted because I think a lot of people had a lot of issues with
34%.
it. Yeah, lot of people they were giving generic what do you call them, Viagra's, but I think a lot of people started becoming impotent, which is just scary.
What's a generic Viagra?
Uh, um, you get those APUs and then you make them generic. You can make them at a
Okay.
cheaper rate. It was just scary.
Oh.
Uh, Hymns, let me
But did you
check.
know that Novo
Hymns.
basically teamed up with Hims and Hers? And then eventually
Yeah.
they teamed up a month back saying, you know what, you're making cheaper shit. I'm going to make it with you. And let's do it together. And then a month later, they just come out and say, hey, you know what, these guys are not doing it well. I'm out of it. Sorry. Bye. I'm not giving them any money.
Wow.
So a month back, they were the best friends. A month later, they're like, who are you? I don't even know you. And why are you selling my products? So yeah, the stock's
I
down pretty
think
much
maybe
from
they
like 72 all the way down to 41.
either they wanted to know some very vital information, or it's just what do you call? Um, are they actually ignorant? So either they're fishing for information, they got what they
No, they're
needed.
saying there's some marketing issues and I mean, like there's like some evil shit that's there between these guys. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Some weird stuff.
because
Anyways, the
him,
stock is down about 3.59.
I think once he got listed, it turned into an your evil corporation.
Oh, nice. Anyways, what are we? 15 minutes away from market open. Palantir is up about 1%, so that's hitting a new all-time
Wow.
high. If it breaks, goes up another 3%. 144 for Palantir. I want to go check what's happening with Robinhood. It was at 82.84. Yep, 83.31. 82.75 was the
Should look at
price.
Reddit
So
also.
Reddit's up about what? 1.92. It had a bad day yesterday. It was up all the way up to $153, reversed and closed pretty much where it opened. So
Yeah.
actually pretty much closed at the lows of the day. So that was a bad scheme. 141.68. It should be opening at a 144.52, which is about 2% higher. Reddit has been having some form of AI benefit that's been going on. So a lot of this AI stuff, Reddit has been using it for analytics, and I'm guessing that's going to be beneficial as time passes. So maybe Reddit's a big beneficiary. Reddit is still about 62% away from its all-time high. So do remember there's still a while for it. It made its high about 136 days ago. So that's about 4 months, but 4.5 months at $230 a share. Currently trading at 141, but will be opening at about 145. Anyways, that's that. 22,316 on the Nasdaq. Should get a move even on rest of the other stocks. We have news which is about new homes, and they've been still selling quickly. So there is still some amount of hope, man, in between all of this stuff. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but yeah. Micron came out with earnings, so that's another AI play, right? Micron Technologies. They beat on revenue, beat on earnings, beat everywhere. Stock is up about 1.65. April lows were $61 a share. Today it trades at about 129. So that's saying something. That is some real big moves. Yeah. So DeepSeek's next gen model R2 is facing major delays as Nvidia chip shortages bite harder in China. US
Wow.
export bans on H20 GPUs have choked supply. Cloud providers say slowing rollout and putting pressure on performance. So yeah, it's true. Their progress has been stalled. It's not currently something
I
that's
mean,
been bad.
I don't want to put on
Uh,
the Tim. No,
Iran
what I
removed
mean is
uranium from Fordo because US strikes. Apparently,
I
EU
don't I
capitals
don't
believe.
want to put on the tinfoil hat, but it could be this fake news coming from China just because they want to strike out a deal with the US. So they'll be like, oh,
Oh,
deep
but
seek.
this is from someone called The Information. I'm trying to see. It's a media company. Let's actually check where it's based. It's based in San Francisco. So maybe. Let's see. Jessica Lesin. She's the one who started this. So, yeah. Anyways, that's that. Let's stick to markets. Let's see what's happening. Stocks are up about 1%. We have earnings of Nike coming out today, so that should be fun. Other than that, things look pretty okay.
It'll come post
What
market
are we at?
or
It comes about 15 minutes post market,
okay.
4:15 p.m. in New York. So that's what's currently been happening. Anyways, most likely next time let's try doing this on the what's it called, on the mobile version as well. Maybe that helps. Let's see.
The YouTube lives.
Yeah, let's see how that works. Hmm. I'm trying to see if I have anything more that currently wanted to talk about. Otherwise, it does look like a lackluster open for the market. So we're just going to be opening pretty much at 22,310, 310, 312, the 60, 62 points high. Nothing too insane. Let's see. Do we have anything else that's currently going on? I need to figure some of the stuff about the. Oh, Trump has a post coming out saying nothing was taken out of the facility at Iran's nuclear site. Okay. We need this stuff to come to an end because the more we keep talking about this, it's just unnecessary news. Also, I do expect the market at some day to have some form of a pullback, maybe a percent and a half, 2% lower before we actually start pulling back because that will just be like retesting the previous highs. So I think that will be quite likely before we actually move ahead and higher, though. Okay. There was something that I had. So, Sean, I was actually explaining to everyone yesterday about this concept as to how bull markets do take place. Give me a few of your
Yeah.
opinions on this. I was explaining to everyone that, when you saw the 2020 crash, post that the markets recovered so quickly. Eventually, once they moved up higher and higher, they broke the 2020 highs, went higher, and they didn't really stop, right? Till the time they made a new low. And then in 2022, you had a next bear market that came through. In 2022, again, once the next bear market came through, you had like the Metas and Amazons, everything of the world that were just collapsing. Remember the time when we were buying Netflix, Spotify, all of them?
Yeah. Meta and all.
And then the way the market reversed from there and went higher, it was just amazing the stuff that happened. And how I was explaining to everybody that the bull markets are not a ceiling. You basically break through from there. And when you break through from there, usually 80% of the time, the year that in which you're breaking out into new highs, you at least make a 10% gain. So if that
I mean,
were
is
to
it
be the case
currently
this
a
time,
bull
we would
market?
be at 6,600, right? It is, right? It has to be. There's no
I
two
mean,
ways about it.
I know it's all-time high, but is the general population also feeling that it's a bull market?
No,
Or
I
they're
don't think
still
the general
scared
population
about
is feeling that because they're
tariffs?
they're pretty much scared, right? Yeah, there's enough things to be scared about, so they're all scared about it.
War and then tariffs?
So that's something that I've been seeing. I mean, you have $7 trillion in cash just lying around, so there is going to be a
I
lot
mean,
of people just waiting it out to see what's going to happen there, right?
7
So
trillion is crazy.
yeah, so I mean, if that money does come through into the equity markets, that's going to cause a rally. I mean, 10% would be nothing, right? If you have to see an actual move that goes in.
Yeah.
So yeah, my base case is also maybe 66, 6,700, maybe even 7,000 as a bull case on the S&P 500, which is a 15% rally from now, from year till December end. Obviously, it's not going to be a one-way street. You'll have some moves up and down, but that's that, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So looks good as of now, the market. So I don't really think, Sean, we should be keeping this for too long. Let's not keep everybody just unnecessarily here. The markets are pretty lackluster. We pretty much came through a little bit earlier for unemployment claims. So let's do a post market.
I see
That I
some.
think might be a better
Yeah.
idea, right? I think that might make more sense. I mean, how far away are we? About 9 minutes away to opening, right? Anyway, so everyone that's joining in, please make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe. You will get a notification when I come live. We do a live post market, pre market, everything,
Every day.
and this is fun. Anyways, yeah, every day pretty much, Monday to Friday. I do a Saturday, Sunday unless Usually, when we're on the brink of a nuclear war, I do the weekends as well. So I do a Saturday, Sunday when we have countries at war. So it's something that I'm currently looking at. We got Wage Freedom in the house. Nice to see him. He says this feels to me like the
So,
slow turn from caution to complacency before the FOMO hits. Right? That is true. I agree with you completely on that. There was a John Templeton of Franklin Templeton said that he used to say this one particular line that bull markets are born on pessimism, they're grown on skepticism, they mature on optimism, and they die on euphoria. I believe we are still in the growing on skepticism phase because of the tariff scenario. We will mature on optimism pretty much right now and ahead because that's what we're expecting that the markets will currently go through, and you'll see the 10% rally. Most likely, if the 10% rally extends to a 20% rally in the next 12 months, you would then invariably be seeing something turn in to pretty much turning into a euphoria. Now, that is
mm,
something that we should pretty much be worried about if that were to be the case. Anyways, but as of now, enjoy yourselves, have a good day. We don't want to forcefully just keep everyone here for market open, considering that it's just going to be dead. So, enjoy yourselves, have fun. We will catch you in post market. Take care of
yes,
yourselves. Appreciate
sir.
everybody coming through.
See
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Take care.